Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Good to talk to all of you again at this somewhat late hour. It's 3 o'clock in the morning right now. Just managed to get through quite a bit of the packing. I think that's enough for today. There's probably going to be more tomorrow, so gonna squeeze in a little bit of time in here to quickly do this particular video because this video is gonna cover the question of what's next for myself, for the channel, and answer, of course, some of the questions that you guys have about my future direction. So, before I get there, I think I should probably talk about the incident just a little bit, at least to fill in some of the holes. So most of you already know the gist of the story, right? So I posted a very critical, Graf Zeppelin video where I think the people who were responsible for releasing the ship really fucked up and made a sort of off-the-cuff remark that people who screwed up that badly really, I said should be fired. Did I actually want people to go ahead and lose their livelihood? No. Not my intention, not really what I wanted. I just wanted people to re-examine the issue. And people who screwed up, to really look at themselves and go, wow, do we really do that badly? Of course, it wasn't received that way by the guys over at the Russian studio bit. They actually thought I was serious. So, of course, coming from an official community contributor, that caused them to go full like DEFCON 1. And they immediately exercised the nuclear option, and I was terminated from the program with immediate effect. Now, I accepted that because I accepted the fact that, yep, I went a bit overboard with that statement, even though I didn't intend for it to, for actually people to lose their jobs. But okay, I accepted that. But it was still a shock to me. Me, personally, over the last 2 years that I've been doing warships-oriented videos and things like that, I've not usually been one to make like profanity-laced tirades about things. I generally try to stay calm, generally try to stay analytical and rational. And heck, I mean, that's even led to people accusing me of being a wargaming shill and being a paid wargaming employee, which is kind of funny because as a YouTuber, I really only have a kind of casual relationship with the company whose games I'm promoting. But still, for me it was a shock because I just expected them to just approach me and say, look, that was a little bit too much, and could you maybe take the video down, could you edit it, could you make another video saying that you're sorry about this, and that you didn't mean it. I mean, it was shocking that they immediately went to the nuclear option. Now, of course, the community reaction was amazing. The support that I saw was phenomenal, and there are not enough words that I can say to thank you all for that, because it was amazing. And of course, that caused Wargaming very quickly to also reevaluate their position. I think it helped that I also came out and accepted that what I said was a bit overboard, and I apologize for that. And within probably 24 hours of the initial decision, Wargaming came around and said, right, we would like to talk to you in person. And they called me on Skype and they said, we're really sorry about this. We also went a little bit too far overboard, because apparently for them, they were prepared for worst case scenario. They were literally prepared for another Foch, and when that worst case scenario didn't materialize, it looked like they overreacted, which is fine as an explanation and everything, and I accepted it. But on the inside for me at the time, I still wondered, like how they could treat the situation the same kind of way. I'd been one of their longest active community contributors. I've worked with one of the NA staff in particular for quite a while, and you'd figure that they'd have a pretty firm grasp of what kind of an individual I am. So, for that communication not to have happened, and for, the situation to have developed the way it did, yeah, was really disheartening. And it was just like, wow, you guys basically don't seem to know me at all. And it wasn't the world's best scenario. Anyways, not too long after the Skype call, the official statement came out, and you guys kind of know what happened there, right? So for those people who bought the graph, if they wanted a refund, they could get a refund. If they want to help test and balance it, that became a thing as well. So that's all good. That issue became resolved. I also got an official apology in that statement, which, they told me that, if I wanted to rejoin the community contributor program, I could just reach out to, Meathead, and I could rejoin. And I sat there and I thought about it for a second, and I said, you know what? Not right now. Not for the next little while. Because really, I just didn't feel it anymore. It didn't feel right. For me, it was like, I put in that much time, worked with them on all these things, reviews, testing stuff, and all that. And at the end, I was basically treated like almost like a stranger, somebody they didn't even really know, and it just didn't feel right. And to just go right back to the program as if nothing happened, that's just it just wasn't happening. So of course, this brings us to the big question: what's going to happen to your channel now? Are you still going to cover warships, or are you going to avoid warships completely? The answer to that question is actually very simple. I'm going to create content that I want. And that does mean I'm still going to cover ships, except I'm not going to cover it following their community contributor timeline, right? Because, see, when you're a community contributor with Wargaming, every single time they have a new premium ship, a new tech tree, a new whatever, it's just like, yes, here's your stuff, please provide content, and, and it's always this constant rush to like test stuff, get stuff out as quickly as you can. And what ended up happening is you don't really end up doing stuff that you want anymore. You're constantly revolving around their releases of ships, right? And I want to go back to what I liked and what I was good at, looking at mechanics of things again and being able to test it and spend a good amount of time testing it, because anytime you want to unravel a mechanic that they don't really say anything about in the game, officially, you've got to untangle that. And that takes time, and it takes a lot of man hours to figure it out. I want to go back to making, videos about ships historically as well. And those take usually a few days worth of research. And typically, when I was in the CC program, it felt like I had less and less time to do those kinds of things. And not sure if some of you could hear it, but at times there was that growing disinterest, with the game, because I no longer was able to do things that I actually gave a damn about, and instead having to constantly focus on the next review, the next ship that's coming out, the next premium. And as you can tell, the pace of them releasing premiums and new ships and stuff like that has actually increased. So in a way, it's a good thing. It's like a blessing in disguise. I gotta go back and I gotta focus on things that I like to do. And of course, that also means I will go back to making other ship-related things and cover other ship-related things that I don't normally have time to cover as an official community contributor. So there are going to be, World of Warships videos. And I'm going to continue to advocate for you guys to Wargaming. I don't know if they're going to ever listen to me, but I will still do that. I will still talk to their producers, their developers. I will still talk to them about issues and problems I see with the game. But, and there is a but to this whole thing, but I've also learned that you can't always just put everything in one basket. You have to diversify. You have to cover other things, because in the event that something like this happens and they go ahead and pull something like this, that you have something else that you can go to. Which also means that, I'll cover other games. Games like Cold Waters would come back. Actually, I still want to play more of that game. Other potential, like, military history strategy games. I've heard good things about Heart of Iron 4. Maybe I should give that a try, right? Other naval games as well, like, kind of similar to Warships, at least in terms of the massive online multiplayer element thing. So maybe Steel Ocean I could look at. I don't know if that game is still alive or not, but hey, who knows? I could take a look at it. Navy Field I could take a look at it, especially since they're still having an upcoming Steam release, things like that. And I'm also going to try to upload more just like stream highlights, right? Because for those of you who used to watch me on Twitch, you've noticed that I've basically not done much streaming lately. And part of that is, again, you can't always stream one game all the time. You really have to stream some other stuff. But for me, I've had this disconnect between streaming and YouTube. And, when I stream, I'm a little bit more hyperactive. I'm a little bit more energetic about certain things that I play. A little bit more lively, a lot less sort of calm, collected as I am in YouTube videos. And, at the time I've always been like, maybe these two things don't connect so well. But, at the end, now that I think back to it, it's like, yeah, that's just me in two different formats. One, while you're recording things on YouTube, yeah, you're not actually doing any playing, so there's no actual a lot of that live reaction. A lot of things are more cerebral. While when you play, it's a lot more just like you go with it. And so what I'm thinking about now is that, on Twitch, I'm just going to play whatever I want. Whatever makes me happy, whatever things that entertain me, and if there's good moments that come out from there, I'll turn those into highlights and I'll just upload them to YouTube so you guys can watch. And it might not always be worships, it could be other things. I mean, tomorrow, maybe a couple hours after this video comes out, there should be a Kerbal Space Program highlight from when I was streaming KSP. I only did it once so far, but likely to do more of the streaming stuff in the future and uploading highlights. And I had fun with KSP. Like, I went back and watched my highlight and I was like, I actually legitimately had a lot of fun with that game. So, that could be something that'll appear. Is it going to be like tons and tons of that? No. I'm not going to become a dedicated KSP YouTuber / streamer. No. But hey, if I have fun with something and I think it's entertaining and I think you guys might enjoy it, yeah, I'm going to post it. So that's that. That's the direction and, everything about this channel as to what's next. I think I've covered that now. If you're looking for warships, it's still going to be here. There's still going to be good warships content here. Except I'm just not going to go and follow the official community contributor timeline. Because seriously, the way they are doing it right now is pretty much murderous. You're treating it less as a hobby and more as a job, even though you're not getting paid for it. Because that's just how they've scheduled it, right? I mean, in the past, it used to be a very well done sort of time release. Like, yep, we're going to give you a ship a week ahead. The ship is already finalized. So prepare this video, and on this day, you can all release it. And it's just one video. Now it's like, here, you get a ship. Please start testing it. Then make a work in progress video of this ship. And then if there are changes, then update it. And then if there's a full-on release, then make the official review. And it's like, for the same ship, you might have to do like 2 to 3 videos. And that's just a bit too much, especially at the pace at which ships are coming out. So yeah, I'm just going to follow more of my own timetable and release videos that I want. Well, of course, I will still cover premium ships and tech tree ships as they release them, right? Like, once it becomes a live ship, it makes it onto the live servers, into the shop and everything, yep, I'm still going to review them. Still going to give you guys the lowdown of the particular ship as to, whether it's any good, how to play it, etc., and etc., etc. And I think that just about does it for this video. And I'm trying really hard to think if there's anything else. And brains at like 3:30 in the morning after a hard day of packing don't really want to think anymore. They just want to go to sleep. So I'm trying really hard right now to think if there's anything else I wanted to say before I signed off for this video. One thing, of course, is for those of you who did win stuff, I announced the winners in the last video, the USAF museum visit. If you won stuff and you've reached out to me, I do apologize if things are going to come a little bit slower. Like I said, I do need to actually complete this move first before I'm probably going to be able to get around to shipping stuff. So hang tight. It will come just a little bit slower than I would normally do it. And, I think that's really it today. Anyways, if I've forgotten anything and I remember in the next day or two, Yay brain. But if I do remember it, I will put it in the next video. Anyways, folks, I hope you all have yourselves a very good one. And yeah, I will talk to you all in the probably next prepared YouTube video. But I'll probably see you all again in tomorrow's highlight. So until then, take care, have yourselves a good one, and I'll talk to all of you again next time.